Hello, little witchlings and princelings, and welcome to your weekly Coven Summoning. My name is Ilsa.
And my name is Stacy.
And we're Caffeine and Conjuring,
a fantasy bookish podcast where we will discuss some of our favorite fantasy reads.
So last episode we were discussing The Assassin and the Healer, and that was a snooze fest.
Womp womp.
Neither of us enjoyed that one. But I think we both really enjoyed this one, and today we're discussing The Assassin and the Desert.
I'm excited to talk about this one.
Overall, it's my favorite of the Assassin's Blade, I think.
Okay.
Maybe tied for my favorite, but we'll get into that later.
Ooh.
So before we dive in, make sure that you've read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and the first 3 novellas in Assassin's Blade before listening to the episodes to avoid any spoilers. So, Chapter 1 of The Assassin and the Desert. Celaena Sardathian is battling the Red Desert heat. Her guide, a nomad, got her within 2 miles of the Silent Assassin's fortress and then bailed, too terrified to go any further. What an opening. This guy's just like, yeah, I'm gonna leave you here. It's 2 miles that way. You're on your own.
Yeah.
So Celaena's left to trek through the desert heat, fuming at Erebin for punishing her like this for freeing the enslaved people at Skull's Bay. Hours later, she finally stumbles upon the fortress, tucked away in an oasis. Despite being parched, she manages to keep it together when she arrives. A silent, middle-aged assassin then escorts her to the Mute Master. She gives the speech Erebin made her memorize, begging the Master to train her. The Master's reaction? He checks out the bruises Erebin gave her, gives her a disapproving look, and then unleashes 4 assassins on her.
What an entrance.
Yeah. It's like right away hooked into this story.
Yeah, it's like action right from the start.
Yeah.
And I think that made all the difference.
Like, you're immediately asking questions like, who's the Mute Master? Why are they the Silent Assassins? Why are they attacking her? Like,
why did he just sick them on her out of nowhere? Yeah. Then chapter 2, Celaena, she tears right through the 4 guys, proving that she's worthy of the Mute Master's training. When the fight's over, she notices a girl about her age with fiery red hair and wolf-themed armor watching her from the sidelines. She finds her very intriguing. She's very interested in this other girl. The Mute Master calls the girl forward. Well, I guess motions the girl forward. And she introduces herself as Ansel. As it turns out, she and Celaena will be roommates. Celaena tells the Master she's planning to stay a month, and Ansel confirms it, adding that her training starts at dawn the next day. So she's not getting any break. She just traveled this whole way, and they're just like, okay, we'll start tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's mentioned later in the book that it takes a month to get to the Red Desert, and then you're traveling through that hot heat through all the sand dunes to finally get to the Silent Assassins. And you get a nap, and then you're up for training.
Brutal.
No, ma'am, not me. I like my sleep.
Nope. That's what I mean when people say, to live in your, the books that you love, to live in that universe. I'm just like, no. I love these books, but I would not last a day. I wouldn't last an hour.
As a book boyfriend, as real. As if this was real life, Tamlin. Just let me sleep and read and paint all day. It's fine. I don't need to do anything.
Exactly.
I have people feed me and clean for me. Perfect. It sounds like a perfect life.
Yeah, I have no interest in being the one who saves the world. I have 0 interest in that. Leave that for somebody else. So Ansel leads Celaena to their room so she can finally take a bath, which is obviously very much needed after that desert trek. Celaena's relieved to see another female assassin since she's the only woman in the Rifthold Guild. She asks Ansel about some kids that are cleaning up, and Ansel explains they're acolytes, basically doing the grunt work before they become full-fledged students. Ansel's been at the fortress for 5 years, ever since her dad, the Lord of Briarcliff in the Waste, sent her there when she was 13. Even after all this time, the Mute Master still hasn't personally trained Ansel. Ansel then asks Celaena if her master beat her, but Celaena dodges the question. Ansel shows Celaena to the communal baths and leaves her to soak in the blessedly cold water. When Celaena gets back to their room, Ansel's gone, so naturally, Celaena does a little snooping. There's our little assassin. But she doesn't find anything too exciting, just some folded underwear, and then for some reason, that makes Celaena think of Sam. And how he probably folds his underwear. Which, of course, then brings back the memory of Arobyn's brutal beating before she left, and she remembers Sam screaming something, but she couldn't quite hear before she blacked out.
Do you fold your underwear?
Depends. When I clean my clothes, I literally just take all my socks, underwear, bra, everything, and I just whoop into the drawer. But, well, no, my socks go in another drawer because I have so many socks. I don't know why. I just have a lot of socks. But no, I don't actually fold my underwear unless I'm actually in my room, sorting out my clothes, doing the refresh of the dressers. Then I will fold my underwear and put it into the drawer. But they don't stay folded.
That hurts my soul.
Sorry. Do you color code?
Not my sometimes, kind of. Not like I'll keep like, okay, so I'm just gonna start from the beginning with this one.
Sure.
I've always kept my underwear socks drawer folded, neat and tidy. If they were all sharing a drawer, it'd be like socks, bras in the middle, underwear on the other side, and it would all be like nicely laid out. But now with the like kind of walk-in closet that I have, there's a small corner that has built-in shelves. So I got 2 inserts for the shelves, or well, more than, for underwear, 2 inserts that have the little pockets in them. It's like 6x6 pockets. So I do the fold and roll, and I will put, when I find a pair of underwear I like, I'll buy multiple of the same ones. So I'll put the ones that are the same together. So it's not color-coded, like, my closet, I keep color-coded on my blacks, and then I'll do, like, all the colors together. Just, it makes me happy.
That's fair.
But the underwear I'm not as particular about, but I do try and keep the ones that are the same together.
See, every aspect of my life is just chaos and mess. Right down to my sock and underwear drawer.
RJ hates it, because when I go through my cleaning sprays, I'll reorganize his drawers as well. Like, we both share the laundry. He won't put away my laundry because he knows better. But I'll put away his if I'm doing it. And if his drawers are chaos, I just dump all of his clothes out of his dresser, and I'm like, go put away your clothes. I can't.
See, with us, literally everybody does their own laundry here. They're in charge of doing whatever they want with their clothes. I don't touch Chris's. He doesn't touch mine unless, like, I need him to put it over to the dryer, or he needs me to put his over to the dryer. But, like, we're just all, like, I don't give a hoot what anybody does with their clothes. But I think if I had those, like, little organizers for the drawer, like, where you put your underwear in, I think I would then. But
it's honestly so
I don't.
Nice.
And I don't. And I also don't know if, like, the whole, like, I don't know, just ADD thing where you buy a journal and you have all these, you know, thoughts of, this is going to be the year that I'm going to plan everything. I'm going to use this journal, and then it just doesn't get used and your life is still a mess. I think that's what my underwear drawer would still be if I bought those little organizers. I might use it for a week. What are you looking for?
So it's funny you should bring up journals, because this December past, I bought a journal. In the beginning of January,
Yay.
I filled out the entire month of January, all my bills, the goals, planning, budgeting. Have I looked at it since I finished it that day? Absolutely not. I don't even know where it is at the moment.
I did the same thing.
Like, I did
Literally
color-coded
nothing
sticky
past
notes
January.
and highlights, and nope, I have not opened it since.
I got you. I understand completely.
And I did the same thing last year, except I bought good notes for my iPad, so I could do my planner on my iPad, because I can carry it around with me, and it's all online, so I could update it from my phone or my iPad. And literally the only thing I did on that was put in our D&D days with our little logo for our group. And that is it. So I paid $20 to just put in a app that I have D&D every 2 weeks. That is it.
And even then, that's questionable. Yeah. There's like a 50% chance that it'll be canceled, so.
Yeah. We still haven't had our Christmas one where we give our gifts yet. And it's almost the middle of February.
That's so normal, though. Anybody who has a D&D group will understand that. They feel that.
I put it off for so long, and then with the strike, I didn't get to order the stuff that I was going to order for gifts, so I just put together something fast and easy, and now thinking back, I should have just ordered it, because I should have known.
Yeah, I did the same thing, did something very, like, quick and half-assed.
Yeah.
And now I regret. Maybe we have time. Maybe I'll do something else.
Well, if you put an order in somewhere, let me know. I'm going to add something to it. And if it's not here on time, one of us can just cancel next time. No one will think anything of it.
We will conspire.
Okay, the ADHD is strong tonight.
Doesn't help that I am drinking as well.
Oh.
So
I'm not drinking.
I needed
I've
something.
just over-caffeinated and underslept, and I'm currently on my 33rd load of laundry of the weekend.
Holy shit.
A seasonal depression and getting me not to do anything for months.
Yeah. That's literally my whole house right now.
Yeah.
I put off everything. Oh, yeah. So I finished chapter 2. So where do we go in chapter 3?
So Ansel comes to get Selena for dinner and introduces her to the other assassins, some of whom, it turns out, aren't actually silent. Selena meets Mikhail, Ansel's friend, and maybe more than a friend, but there's definitely some chemistry there, even if it's not flat out said. They chat about Lord Barrick, leader of the nearby Xandria.
That's what I think.
Who thinks he's the rightful ruler of the desert and keeps attacking the fortress, hoping to impress the king of Ardalan by delivering the mute master's head on a platter. Ansel's the silent assassin's envoy to Barrick. She also explains that there are dignitaries from other countries hanging around trying to buy the services of assassins. But no one from Ardalan-controlled lands, since that's Erebin's turf. Then Ildius, the mute master's handsome son, starts flirting with Selena, which totally surprises Ansel since he doesn't usually notice anyone. Selena thinks he's just as good looking as Sam, which makes her wonder why she's even thinking of Sam as desirable in the first place.
I wonder why.
'Cause you're 17 and full of hormones. Mikhail asks Selena if she deserved the beating from her master, and she replies Erebin would say yes, but the 200 slaves she freed would definitely disagree. And the room was silent.
Stunned silent.
The next day, Selena's training begins with a brutal 6-mile round trip through the desert, carrying a yoke and 2 buckets of water. She struggles big time, having to walk parts of the way through the treacherous dunes. She makes it to the oasis at the halfway point and takes a quick break, and then trudges back to the fortress, arriving just in time for dinner. Ansel then casually mentions that on her first run, she actually collapsed at the 2-mile mark and Ilias had to carry her back. Later, Selena watches the Mute Master eat, then follows him when he leaves, demanding to know why he's not training her personally when she only has a month here. He just ignores her, and Ilias grabs her arm before she can follow him. She introduces herself and tells him she gets why he's protective of his dad. Back in their room, she asks Ansel about Mikhail, and Ansel reveals that they've been together since she was 15, even though he's way older. Which, it's not a big age gap. She is 18 and he's 22? Or 17 and 22? Something like that.
Mm-hmm. I guess it feels like a bigger age gap when she's 15.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, fair. So, hearing this, Selena's a little grossed out, but Ansel explains that in the Flatlands, girls get married as young as 14, which only freaks Selena out even more. Yeah, nope.
No, thank
yeah,
you.
No.
Toodles, goodbye.
As she's falling asleep, her mind wanders back to Sam, and she wonders why Arabin needed 3 men to hold him down while he beat her.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. She might not be ready to talk about those feelings, but...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last 2 books, even though Sam hasn't been present in them, she has been doing a lot of thinking about Sam.
Yeah.
Everything brings her back to him. Chapter 4. The next day, Selena's desert run is noticeably easier, just like Ansel said it would be. She doesn't bother trying to talk to the Mute Master again. She's playing the waiting game, hoping he'll send for her. She spends her time training with Ansel, working on drills, and some of the other assassins even offer tips on her technique. She notices the atmosphere here is way more supportive than back at the Rifthold Keep. Arabin's whole cutthroat competition thing between Selena, Sam, and the other assassins is nowhere to be found here. The sense of community here is refreshing, and she's hoping that the other assassins will put in a good word for her with the Mute Master, nudging him to finally train her and sign that all-important letter of approval. On her 5th night at the fortress, Lord Barrick's men attack. The assassins spring into action, and Selena watches amazed as they unleash a volley of flaming arrows. They're targeting an oil-soaked rope hidden beneath the sand. Her own fire arrow singeing her fingers as she releases it, the rope encircling the fortress erupts in flames, and it sends Barrick's men running. Ansel explains they're trying to avoid a full-blown war with Barrick. The fire's just a scare tactic. And later, Mikhail?
I think so.
Later, Mikhail gives Ansel a document to deliver to Barrick. Ansel then invites Selena to come with her to Exandria, arguing that the Mute Master will be impressed by her dedication to the fortress's safety. And Selena is obviously in.
So, Chapter 5. Camping in the desert with Ansel is not Selena's idea of a good time. She can't stand the feeling of sand everywhere, and Ansel just teases her about being so fussy. Selena asks her about the curse on the Flatlands, and Ansel explains that the land was cursed, especially with those Iron Teeth witches around.
Ding ding.
But things have gotten better since the witches moved east. Then she tells a chilling story about how she, her sister, and their friend Maddie went exploring an abandoned tour and found an Iron Teeth witch. The witch grabbed Maddie and took her. Ansel and her sister ran home and told their dad, but when he sent out a search party, they only found the bones of a child picked clean. Selena's horrified and can't shake the image of what happened to Maddie as she tries to sleep. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Before lights out, Ansel goes on a rant about how the silent assassins are too isolated and should be helping in the Ardalan battles. She's convinced she could take over and protect the realm with an army of assassins at her command.
Do we sense some foreshadowing?
Oh.
Some foreshadowing?
Oh.
Carry on.
They arrive in Sandria on market day, and the place is packed. Ansel tells Selena to go do some shopping while she meets with Beric, since Selena's not privy to the Mute Master's business. Selena browses the market, tempted by some new shoes or maybe some lavender perfume, when she spots a spider silk vendor. Okay. No. Okay? No. Like, I know you don't, like, see things when you read, but can you imagine a fucking spider the size of a horse? Like,
yeah, nothing.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's no.
and then the ominous, you don't find those spiders, they find you. Like, fuck, they're gonna find me.
I will not leave my house.
Absolutely
Ever.
not. No fucking thank you. Okay, where am I? Spiders, right. So she stops at the spider silk vendor, and it's said that spider silk is made by giant Stygian spiders, and these are the horse-sized spiders. And they say horse-sized. And their thread is apparently softer than silk, but stronger than steel. Do not care. Do not care. Absolutely not. Stay away from me. Like, give me a flamethrower. Actually, don't even. If I've seen a spider the size of a horse, I would literally just have a heart attack and die. Like, right there, dead on the ground.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'd just pass away. Just pass away.
I would be Frodo wrapped in the web. Just done. Out. So, stronger than steel. The price of this spider silk, rumor has it, it can be anything from human flesh to years and dreams. Selena chats with the vendor, who's shocked she even recognizes the spider silk. He tells her that a Stygian spider in the Rune Mountains gave him the silk in exchange for 20 years of his life. That's why he looks 40 when he's really only 25.
That part was really sad because he thought that this like it would just take the 20 years off the end of his life.
Yeah, like die 20 years sooner instead of just losing 20 years now. Yeah, can you imagine? Like,
Brutal.
one day you're 33 and the next day you're 53.
I feel like it some days.
Yeah, ask my bones now. They think they're an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
I said to a client the other day, I'm like, my senior years are not going to be enjoyable for me. My body is like pushing that my senior years are going to suck.
Uh-huh.
There's days I feel like I'm just
too.
a step away from being crippled now with arthritis and everything else. I can only imagine.
Listen, at least we'll have books. We don't need to move if we have books. We just need to have people around us to do our bidding.
Yeah, I just need someone to plug in my Kindle and set it up where I don't have to touch it, and then just put the little remote in my hand. So hopefully at least one of my fingers will work, and I can just press the button to turn the page.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
absolutely.
Yes. Positivity. Optimism.
So this merchant, he then asks Selena to go kill the spider and get his years back. She tells him She's booked until the end of summer, but if he goes to Erebin and Rifthold, he can probably find her. The vendor gives her a small square of spider silk as a little reminder.
I love how she had the opportunity for a side quest and she's just like, no, fuck that. I'm on my main quest. Like, that is no gamer ever.
To be fair, she's like me, though. She's like, okay, like, it's there, it's waiting in, like, the list of side quests, and she'll eventually get to it when it pleases her.
Okay, fair. Fair.
That is me as a gamer.
See, I'm the opposite. I like run around and do all the side quests in the area first.
I do to a point. I find, like, if certain games have too many of the same side quests, like, I found Assassin's Creed really bad for that. There'd be, like, 100 side quests in a small town, but, like, 50 of them were the same. I just have no time for it. Could care less.
The Witcher 3, I found bad for getting overwhelmed with side quests.
Yes. I'm a completionist. I like finishing things. I could not.
Yeah.
Like, I told myself very early on in that game, this wasn't going to be a platinum for me. This would be a finish, would not be a platinum.
You came to terms with that.
Accepted.
Early on.
So after Selena leaves the spider silk merchant, she buys those shoes she was eyeing and then meets up with Ansel, who's 15 minutes late with no explanation. Ansel drags her to Barrack stables and shows off 2 Asterian horses.
Ooh.
Hisley and Casita? Casida. They're horses, I don't care. Hisley and Casita. Then Ansel straight up steals Hisley and tells Selena to follow her on Casida. And we finally have the story from the first book.
Yes.
Of when she tells Dorian and Kale that she stole an Asterian stallion.
Crown of Midnight. It was when something to do with her birthday, was it? Or
Kale's birthday.
Kale's birthday. Yeah, I think that was in the second book. Yeah.
But yeah, we finally get that little story.
So chapter 6, they're making their daring escape from Xandria, racing across the desert with Barrack's men hot on their heels. They take a risky leap over the desert cleaver, a massive rock formation with a huge fissure, which both terrifies and exhilarates Selena. They stop to let the horses catch their breath, and Ansel's so pumped up that Selena just punches her right in the face.
I love her reaction is to just, like, laugh, too. Like, she's not even, like, doesn't even faze her. She just laughs, like, sorry, if someone punched me in the face, regardless of why, I'd be having words. Or fists.
It was, she deserved it, though. Yeah. So yeah, later when they're camped for the night, they compare notes on the constellations, swapping the Terrasen and Flatlands names. Selena points out the Lord of the North, the star that guides Terrasen people home. Then Ansel drops a bombshell. Briarcliff Hall hasn't existed for 5 years. Lord Locke invaded the area, killing her sister and her father while she hid. Ansel grabbed her father's sword and ran. She collapsed at an Iron Teeth Witch's camp, who, instead of finishing her off, told her it wasn't her time and sent her south to the Silent Assassins. Turns out she lied to the Mute Master to get into the fortress. Her real plan? Go back and kill Lord Locke with her father's sword. Selena understands her thirst for revenge all too well. She agrees, and they'll make those who hurt them pay.
I wonder which Iron Tooth Witch let her get away.
I wonder.
We find out in Air of Fire.
Oh, shit. Oh, so it's not going to be the... No. Never mind. I'll wait.
What?
No, I was just going to say I thought that maybe it was going to be Yellow Legs.
Oh.
That's just what I was going to assume. Oh. Yeah.
I can come back now.
Hi, welcome back.
Always turning off my camera so my face doesn't give things away.
Mm-hmm. So this is the second book now that is mentioned. Well, the second, in this novella that she mentions the constellation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the pirate lord, right? That she had seen it in the sky, and she...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chapter 7. The silent assassins aren't exactly thrilled about the whole horse stealing incident and punish Ansel and Selena. Selena's worried she's going to get the same kind of brutal beating she got from Arabin, and she flashes back to that night, remembering Sam screaming he'd kill Arabin while Selena was being hurt. But I know. Just the 3 guards holding him back, and he's just screaming the entire time. And now we find out he was saying, "I will kill you, I will kill you." Like, oh, my heart.
Yeah.
But our mute master doesn't lay a hand on her. Instead, she and Ansel are sentenced to stable duty every morning. Selena takes the blame for the horse theft, which actually impresses the mute master. So much so that he agrees to train her personally starting the very next day at sunset.
Here we go.
After a morning of mucking at the stables with Ansel and an afternoon of sparring, and a little bit of annoyance from Selena because she realized that cleaning out the stalls wasn't the only part of that duty, and it was every animal that was kept there.
Yes.
Selena finally meets with a mute master for training. He's got an asp in a basket and uses it to teach Selena how to move, how to mimic the snake's fluid movements. For the rest of the week, she's all about that asp.
Okay. That sounded better in my head. You can reword that.
I'm all about that asp. About that asp.
Oh my god.
No pythons. I'm all about that ass. About that ass. No pythons. I'm keeping that in there.
Oh my god.
Where was that? So yeah, she's all about that asp. Then it turned.
Sorry. I can't. Oh.
Oh, my
Okay.
cheeks hurt.
Oh, my lungs. Oh. Okay. Don't say it again.
I'm lost again. Then it's on to hanging in the rafters with the bats and chasing jackrabbits in the dunes. Every night, the mute master observes her silently. Selena barely sees Ansel during this time. In her downtime, though, her thoughts keep drifting back to Sam, and she wonders why he threatened to kill Arabin that night. How dumb are you?
I mean, I know she's 17, but maybe I talked up her intelligence a little too much back when we started. But what is so hard to understand about that?
Yeah, not
Even at 17.
Well, she probably just thinks Sam's all about that asp. Sorry.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, I hope we don't have to say that word again. Chapter 8. This scene was so cute. I did like this. Selena gets Ansel ready for the Midsummer's Eve party, doing her makeup and telling her how stunning she looks. I love, like, when she's putting the blush on her cheeks, and they're just, like, really bonding.
I love when Selena was done, she looks at her and she's like, I had to take it off. And Ansel's like, why? And she's like, because you look better than I do.
Yeah, it was nice seeing that, like, normal teenage girl side of Selena. Well, as normal as we can get, I guess, in this world. But, and, like, even this back in the last couple chapters when, with the shoes that she bought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're getting, like, bits and pieces of Selena. Just like in Throne of Glass when she was given her, or Crown of Midnight, whichever it was, that she had her money that she could go, like, buy whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
Like, we were, like, getting glimpses of that side of Selena, and I love it. I love it. At the party, they share some wine before Mikhail whisks Ansel off to the dance floor. Selena's thoughts drift to Sam, wondering just how badly Arobin punished him. She'd used most of her savings to rent an apartment before leaving Rifthold, and is planning to tell Arobin she's moving out. She's also planning to tell him that if he ever hurts her or Sam again, she'll cut off his hand. And I even quoted it. If Arobin ever laid a hand on her or Sam again, she'd see to it that he lost that hand. Actually, she'd see to it that he lost everything up to the elbow.
Love it.
Ilias asks Selena to dance, and she agrees. And after their dance, he follows her back to her room and almost kisses her. But Selena pulls away, Sam's face flashing in her mind. She's so freaking clueless. But that scene was pretty nice too. Like,
very
she's just
respectful young lad.
Yes, I do really like him. I do. Ansel doesn't come back to their room that night. She's with Mikhail.
Not so respectable young lad.
The next morning in the stables, Ansel's acting a bit weird. She's kind of, like, off about all the gossip surrounding her and Mikhail. She claims that she's with him for extra training. What kind of training, my friend?
Stamina training?
Then Ansel's jealousy over the Mute Master's attention to Selena boils over, and she snaps. They do have a fight, and Ansel storms off, leaving Selena to finish shoveling dung by herself, calling her spoiled and selfish.
I mean, fair. Even Selena agrees
is,
that, like, she can't even argue because, yeah.
Yeah. But I really don't think it was, what is the word I'm looking for? Warranted? I don't think it was warranted for Ansel to react as she did.
So on to chapter 9, and Selena can't seem to concentrate during her lessons with the Mute Master. He silently pushes her to open up, and she finally admits she's terrified of going back home and seeing what's changed since Skull's Bay. The Mute Master just looks at her sadly, but keeps the lessons going. Later, Ansel comes back to their room and apologizes for their fight. She tells Selena she's her first real friend, and Ansel then offers her some wine, which Selena drinks, and then she tastes something weird, and everything goes dark. At this point, you're like, that bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
And when they have the wine together, that's the one highlight I made from this novella. And it was just their little cheers to each other. To being the most fearsome and imposing girls the world has ever seen.
I love that.
Yeah. And that was my one highlight. And probably the name for this episode.
Ooh, yes. Roll credits.
Yeah, done. You don't get to know how it ends.
Yeah, my first thought was that they both end up being drugged. Like, it wasn't until in chapter 10 when Selena wakes up that I realized then that, well, shit, you know, it was Ansel.
Yeah.
I thought that she was like gonna end up being drugged with her, but yeah, she wakes up in the middle of the desert and she's got a splitting headache. And Cassida, the Styrian horse, is there, along with a note saying the Mute Master wanted to spare her the embarrassment of being kicked out early, and that he'd included his letter of approval for Arobin. Right off the bat, I was suspicious. Yeah. Selena she's confused, she's upset about it, and she like almost cries from the feeling of rejection. But she pulls herself together, and then she just rides off, heading home. When she gets near Exandria, she spots Barrack's men marching towards the fortress.
And not just a few men. That was like a 200-man army. Yeah.
Yeah. She figures the Mute Master sent her away to keep her out of the fight and that the assassins can handle it. She keeps riding toward the city, but then it hits her. And she's like piecing things together here now. She's like thinking back about stuff that like Ansel, how she seemed way too happy when she left Barrack's palace. And then she breaks open the letter. She breaks open the seal, and the letter's just blank. She even like holds it up to the sun, trying to see if it's like invisible ink, something. But there's nothing on this letter. So she figures out that Ansel stole the ring and sealed a fake letter to get Selena out before she spilled the beans. Selena wheels Cassida around and rides back to the fortress. She's always like, I don't know, she's always running back into danger.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a special kind of, I don't know, I was going to say stupidity, but the world needs people like her. So maybe not stupidity.
Special kind of stupid.
No
but a good
self-preservation.
stupid.
Yeah.
So in chapter 11, Selena battles her way through Barrack's forces, determining to find the Mute Master. A wounded Ilias points her towards a room where Ansel's standing over the Master, ready to decapitate him. The Master, seeing his injured son, pleads with Selena to save him. Instead, she throws the dagger at Ansel, hitting her directly in the arm. They square off, and Selena demands to know what she's doing and why. Ansel reveals Barrack promised her an army of 1,000 men to take back the Flatlands, and Selena, she just begs her to stop. Ansel just keeps walking towards her, touching her hair gently, and asks Selena to join her. Selena obviously refuses, and then Ansel attacks. They fight, and Ansel confesses she killed Mikhail and hurt Ilias. Selena uses the inspired moves the Master taught her to disarm and pin Ansel. She asks if their friendship was ever real, and Ansel says it was, especially back when she tricked Selena into leaving. Selena gives her 20 minutes to pack her things and get out of the fortress. If Ansel's not gone by then, Selena will fire an arrow at her, and it won't be a warning shot.
Oh, that whole chapter was very suspenseful.
Yeah.
Like right from her entering and just seeing bodies everywhere. Soldiers, assassins, just bodies. Ugh. I can't believe that she killed Mikhail.
Yeah.
Our final chapter. Selena tends to the Mute Master and Ilias, patching them up after the attack, and then the Master gives her a nod, reminding her of her promise to Ansel. Selena heads to the battlements and watches as Ansel rides away on Hisley. 21 minutes later, click. The arrow flies, landing harmlessly in the sand behind Hisley. The Mute Master then summons Selena to his chambers, and for the first time, he speaks to her. He tells her that he's glad she spared Ansel and that he knew all along about Briarcliff's being gone. He was just waiting for Ansel to trust him enough to tell him the truth. As thanks for saving his life and showing mercy to Ansel, he gives Selena the letter of approval for Arobin and a small fortune in gold. It's enough to pay off all the debts Arobin made her take on during her training. He also tells her to let Arobin know that they don't beat their disciples in the desert.
Yes! Go Mute Master!
Yes. Then Selena thanks him and off she goes.
She has the money for her freedom. The anger she has towards Arobin. Like, the next story is gonna be so good.
Oh boy. I'm nervous. So I know the last book I had a lot of comparisons between Selena and Irene. Is that how we? Yeah. Again,
yeah.
Here is another one that she has a lot of comparisons with. Like
the trauma from childhood of the way her parents died and
yes,
being an assassin.
Exactly. She's another child turned assassin. Yeah. And she also once again mentions points out the color of Ansel's eyes this time. How they have they're lined with silver, where Selena's are lined with gold. But I mean, as for the similarities between them, even just personality wise, I don't think there's a whole lot there because they both handled their trauma so differently. Yeah. But still, there's connections. There's connections. And again, she's letting all these people go. Not assassinating. Anyways, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to ask you what your rating was for this novella.
For this one, I'm kind of in between a 3 and a 4 for this one.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards a 3.5. Because it was good. It was really good. Still not to the level of Throne of Glass or Crown at Midnight yet.
So I surprisingly gave this one a 5-star.
5? Wow.
I tried not to compare it to Throne of Glass and Crown at Midnight. In a set,
mm-hmm.
And it's just a novella. But, I looked at it I was hooked from the first page. It had good pacing. The characters were really interesting. I wanted to learn more about Ansel and Ilias and the Mute Master Assassin. And there was action. There was some character growth. It packed everything in the largest of novellas. Mm-hmm. But the ending was just it was so good. A little bit of shock value. So I rated it in terms of a novella, not an actual, novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now that you put it that way.
I was kind of going between a 4 and a 5, and I'm I can't think of a reason to take off the star.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just more so... I usually rate 5-star... books that are 5 stars are usually the ones that leave me oh my god.
Yeah.
Just giddy, right? But as for, analyzing the whole chapter like that, yeah. I could see it being close to a 5-star.
Yeah.
That's fair. But it was good. It was great. Especially compared to the last one.
I was going to say, comparing, to the other novellas,
yeah.
It's night and day.
Yeah. Yeah, this had the adventure aspect, the fantasy adventure aspect that I want.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about this one?
I don't think so. I'm just really excited for her to get back to Rifthold.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's coming in this next one because of the name. It makes me worried.
So yeah, our next novella is The Assassin and the Underworld. So when the King of Assassins gives Selena Sardathian a special assignment that will help fight slavery in the kingdom, she jumps at the chance to strike a blow against an evil practice. The mission is a dark and deadly affair which takes Selena from the rooftops of the city to the bottom of the sewers, and she doesn't like what she finds there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, our coven summoning comes to a close. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And follow Caffeine and Conjuring on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date on our journey through Throne of Glass.
Join